This video introduces the challenge to find a hidden service. I'll explain the port range you can search through and two ways to do it. One way is very simple. Using the program you wrote at the end of the last video, you can just scan ports one at a time, or you can do it using a loop. The target server is the same server we've been using, packetpub.samsclass.info, and there are 10 possible ports to try, 3000, 3100, 3200, and so on, up to 3900. Most of them are not listening, but when you connect to the correct port, you'll see a banner starting with congratulations. If you use the interactive port scanner that you made in the previous lesson, you can just try them one by one until you find the right one. Here's how that looks. The scanner we made last time was called Grab4 when I made it, and it just asks you for a port to connect to, so you put in 3000, and you get connection refused, and you just run this thing over and over, trying different ports until you find the right one. That's one way to do it. Alright, and there's nothing wrong with that simple way to do it, but a more powerful technique, if you might have a larger number of ports to scan through, like 100 or 1000, would be to use a loop. And in Python, here's how you can make a loop. You can set for a variable in range and then put numbers in the parentheses. If you put in 3 numbers, you have the most general situation where you can start at one number and go by any step, and you end as long as the numbers are less than the end value. So let's take a look at that one. I've made a loop here. Let's nano loop. Alright, here's a simple loop. It's going to start at 2 and continue as long as the numbers are below 10 and count by 2s. And just print the number in this case instead of connecting and trying to see if there's a banner on a network port. And when it's all done, it prints done. Notice the indent here. When you start a loop, you have this for statement that ends in a colon. And when you see a colon, that means the next line must be indented. And all the lines that are indented the same amount are in the loop. In this case, there's only one line in the loop. When the indentation stops, the loop is over. So what this one does is, if you run Python, loop, it just prints 2468, and then it's done. It does not print the 10 because loops stop before you hit the last number. And that should be enough information for you to solve this challenge. In the next video, we're going to have a more complicated challenge, port knocking.